At the January 28th Sorghum U in Perryton, Texas, Trent Milacek discussed managing sorghum for top profits. Milacek, Northwest Area Agricultural Economics Specialist at Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service, encouraged producers to focus on cost and yield rather than prices.
I think a lot of producers tend to look at their profit situation more from the price they're receiving for their bushels rather than from a producer standpoint. I try to say, you aren't necessarily a grain sorghum marketer, you're a grain sorghum producer. So let's focus on cost and yield more so than our prices. And a lot of producers don't spend a whole lot of time on their fertility management. Several producers kind of either said or admitted to not soil sampling every year. And if you're going to manage your costs and manage your inputs, you've got to know what's out there in the field to begin with. We know that you can't change prices, and no one producer can predict the futures price. So why spend much time focusing on that? Instead, look at your own individual farm, because your boots on the ground, you know what's going on that piece of land. So focus on minimizing the cost of production, and then yield and price are going to end up taking care of themselves if you're being that intensive in budgeting into your enterprises. Well, we talked about a little bit of your comparative advantages, and that can be whether you're a mechanic, whether you're good at budgeting, whether you're good at doing paperwork or operations, kind of picking that one thing that you're the best at and focusing on it, and then delegating other tasks to people that may have more information than you or better operators than you are. Things like talking to crop consultant people instead of trying to stay up to snuff on all the chemicals that are available for your crop, or seeking advice, marketing from someone that's in the business instead of trying to formulate your own marketing plan on your own. During a drought, every single day that a weed is out there sucking out moisture, we're reducing our yields. And I think that when it comes to such an intensive crop, you really got to market yourself as a manager and play to your strengths and make sure that you're taking every advantage you can in order to minimize everything that's taking out yield, and then focus on only putting back in the things that can increase your yield at the lowest cost. Well, keeping good records just day to day, whether that's documenting where your weed pressure is coming from, what kind of yield you're even growing on your farm. Many people don't know what to expect or what the 5-year average yield is. So if you're going to be optimizing your yields to try to manage for top profits, you have to know what's reasonable for that farm and how much inputs and how much effort you really need to be putting into that parcel. It's going to change for every single field you're doing, and even if you cross the road, it's going to be different. So it's really, the driving home aspect is becoming an intensive manager.
For more information, visit hpj.com/sorghumu.